God damn. It's just life, man. To happen on the biggest stage sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's hard reality, man. I'm sorry for how it ended, but I have a beautiful life. I have loved ones right now. I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm not making any crazy decisions. The biggest thing is just
The toughest pill to take on the biggest stage is life, Guy, and it's a brutal reality. The rumors themselves are the greatest issue. Fans have been worried about Taylor Swift's appearance at the game and how it will affect her relationship with Travis ever since she abruptly left New Orleans after the Chiefs' heartbreaking Super Bowl defeat to the Eagles. The internet went crazy the day after the game when Taylor left New Orleans sans her NFL bow, boarding her private aircraft. I apologize for the way things ended, but you are aware of how wonderful my life is. I'm simply kicking things down the road since I have loved ones right now. I'm not going to make any insane choices. When Taylor, like some kind of mysterious, gorgeous figure, slid on board her plane while hiding behind an umbrella, the public automatically seized on the slightest detail, the ruby red shoes she was wearing. Swifties, as we all know, are a particular kind of investigator who has an almost supernatural capacity to identify the tiniest clues, who have been known to interpret every piece of clothing Taylor dons in an effort to uncover hidden messages. They quickly jumped all over those shoes, sparking a flurry of crazy ideas about their possible meaning. The literary admirers were the first to point out that Taylor has a long history of using subliminal allusions and Easter eggs in both her music and clothing. According to one idea, Taylor was starting her own adventure like Dorothy in Oz, and the ruby red loafers were a reference to Dorothy's famous red shoes from the movie. But, as one would anticipate, things took a turn for the worst when a TikTok user offered a suggestion that left fans speechless. What if the shoes were, in fact, a hint that Taylor and Travis were splitting up? Just as Dorothy leaves Oz, people started to believe in that great leap. Taylor could have been implying that she was ending her relationship with Travis and going back to living in Louisiana or New York. By drawing a comparison between Taylor's departure from Kansas City and Kelce Dorothy's potential departure from her home in Oz, one fan made the joke that they were no longer in Kansas. Is it possible that this romance, which had won so many people over, ended suddenly? Swifties gasped when some even implied that Taylor's leaving New Orleans meant the fairy tale was finished.
In terms of the aftermath of what happens with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce came back for a three-peat, and then we saw what happened last night. That he's not going to want to leave off of this. It just comes down to, what does Travis Kelce want to do with his life? He retires, and the offers just come flooding in. Well, what does he want to do? Does he want to keep playing football? Does he want to start acting now? Does he want to start hosting shows now? Does he want to do dramas now? Does he want to do comedies now?
Given that Dorothy's shoes were about returning home to a comfortable location rather than just being magical, it's possible that Taylor's red loafers represented a symbolic homecoming rather than a breakup. Many fans, meanwhile, weren't quite prepared to believe the split notion. Others said the shoes were not even a sign of a breakup, but represented something else. Others speculated that the shoes were just another Easter egg, a hint for her upcoming album or project, similar to what Taylor has done previously. A number of theories were circulating online, but they all came to the same conclusion: what were those shoes really about? But here was when things started to become very intriguing. Taylor received a lot of negative publicity when the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl, despite the fact that she had been in the stands supporting Travis. As the game continued, she was seen on the Jumbotron, and the crowd didn't exactly take it well. In fact, she was jeered, which fueled more speculation about whether Taylor's departure from New Orleans was only an attempt to get away from the mayhem or if anything more was going on.
Look over to my right, and there is Taylor Swift getting booed by the entire stadium. At that point, I was like, I'm just going to slink back into my little seat right here and keep watching, because this is great theater. And he was very focused on the fact that Taylor got booed. It's like, very happy that she got booed. And she looked befuddled at the fact that people were booing her, as if like, do they know it's me? It is I, Taylor Swift. Why on earth would you boo me?
We will never forget the specifics of that momentous game, in which the Eagles crushed the Chiefs 40-22. To be honest, it was among the Chiefs' worst losses in recent history. In a perfect world, Taylor would have been there to support Travis since she had been so visible during the season, attending Chiefs games and cheering him on both on and off the field. However, it seems that Taylor and Travis were not as close as supporters would have thought after this very heartbreaking loss. Was she upset with the game? Was she influenced by public pressure? Or, more interestingly, was she and Travis beginning to drift apart? Travis was open about his emotions on the New Heights podcast, which he co-hosts with his brother Jason. After the defeat, he tried to get over his sadness by spending time with his soldiers, but it was interesting to see who wasn't there. You would think that Taylor would be there for him after such a tragic loss, yet she was nowhere to be seen, leaving admirers. However, it didn't end there, and I'm curious as to whether their relationship is failing, if there is anything going on between them that we are unaware of, or whether Taylor just needs some space after all the turmoil. After a time, Travis FaceTime chain smokers who had just performed at his post-game celebration had a really illuminating chat. One of them joked, "We just played your effing party," and the fierce intensity of the situation was evident. What many liked most, however, was that Taylor wasn't there.
Party. Jesus Christ.
The severity of the situation increased on Monday. Even though they quickly came to think that Taylor was not staying to support Travis after the game, fans couldn't help but wonder if this was the beginning of the end for the couple. She was seen hurrying out to catch her private jet at the New Orleans airport while shielding herself with an umbrella. It was like a scene from a soap opera, and the rumors started to fly high, but this is where the plot thickens. In an emotional episode of his podcast, Travis finally spoke about the Super Bowl defeat despite all the drama. Travis, who is usually self-assured and cheerful, seemed remarkably frail. He continued, "I'm sorry for how it ended," in a passionate voice. He continued to reflect on the loss, acknowledging that he had made some mistakes on the pitch and regretting his incapacity to inspire his team more effectively. Travis was obviously upset by this loss, but here's the twist. Despite his sorrow, he was really grateful for the love and support he received from his teammates, coaches, and family. He admitted that there were many more important things in life than football, despite how terrible the Super Bowl loss was. Adding, "I have a beautiful life, man." It was a pivotal moment in Travis's life, demonstrating that he had a lot to be grateful for despite his sorrow over the loss. Jason Ever, the motivator, went on to say that Travis had created a Super Bowl record despite the loss by surpassing Jerry Rice with 35 catches in a game. At the time, however, Travis expressed little interest in the accolade, saying, "That's the last thing that I care about right now."
God damn. It's just life, man.
I think people have been waiting to hear from you since the game Sunday. I mean, you have so many records at this point that this is like kind of like just another one.
That's the last thing that I care about right now. Going into the game, I felt as confident as I ever felt in going into a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a big game in my life, and that wasn't the reason. To happen on the biggest stage sucks. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's hard reality, man. I'm sorry for how it ended, but you know, I have a beautiful life. I have loved ones. Right now, I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm not making any crazy decisions. The biggest thing is just...
Naturally, everyone began to wonder whether Travis was thinking about retiring. Rumors started to circulate, and fans eagerly awaited the next New Heights show to learn the real truth. The potential purchase of a WNBA club has also drawn a lot of attention to Kansas City recently. Interestingly, Taylor Swift, who is now dating Travis Kelce, may get involved. If Swift, Mahomes, and Kelce all supported a WNBA team in Kansas City, it would be incredible. Renowned local leader Patrick Mahomes has already expressed his support for the plan, and given his affiliation with the current Kansas area NWSL team, it stands to reason that he may be a major factor in luring a WNBA team to the region. Additionally, according to sports analyst L. Duncan, it's not wishful thinking. If they teamed up, Swift and Kelce might be the driving force behind Kansas City's WNBA franchise bid because of their star power and financial resources. Large crowds of Swift's fans would attend games, and the team would gain international notoriety as a result of her cultural influence. The city may have a big impact on the WNBA's impending transition into a new era, but despite everything that happened, it appears that Taylor and Travis's relationship is as strong as ever. A source close to the couple said that they are happy and excited to be back together away from the media frenzy. That brings this video to a close, folks. Until we cross paths again. After the chaos around the Super Bowl, they are finally getting some much-needed time together. Now that the AOS tour and Travis's season are over, the two are ready to escape the spotlight and just spend time together.